Hey, it's Jessie from Squeegee Ink, and in this video I'm going to show you how we went about organising our Screen Print Club and how we ran the event so you can see what it's like to attend one of our events. In this video I'm going to show you how we went about creating our t-shirt design, how we collaborated with local businesses to make our event work, how we organised our event, including choosing what screen printing equipment to bring, and lastly, what it's like to attend one of our print clubs. This is the design we have for our t-shirts and our branding. I actually started this project off a little bit differently to usual, and I commissioned an artist on Fiverr to get me going to start it off. So I asked the artist to include in the design the words Blind Maggot Print Club, because that's what the event is going to be called. I asked them to reference screen printing and to include an area in the design so that I could add the date and the location of the actual print club. I'm going to show you what the Fiverr artist gave me initially and the things that I did to adapt it to bring it to this final design. This is the design file that the Fiverr artist gave us. There's definitely some really good points about it. I particularly like the typography at the top and definitely this little maggot, I don't know what you'd call it, this little maggot in the middle. I really like that character design. There's a couple of things that they haven't quite got right off the start. So there isn't a distinct place where I can put the location and the date of the print club. In my opinion, I think I could make the screen at the bottom a little bit more cohesive with the other elements in the design. So I think I might redraw that. These are all obviously things that if I went back to the Fiverr artist and told them about, they would revise and it would be no issue at all. But I actually feel that this is a really good jumping off point and I can do these little tweaks just using the kind of style that I like about the design in the first place. I'm going to be using Adobe Fresco for the first parts of doing this design because it's just much more natural for me to use an Apple Pencil on the iPad and draw these elements out instead of using a mouse and Illustrator. So this is just part of the Adobe Creative Suite. And if you need to get your hands on the Adobe Creative Suite, we have a link in our description that you can use. Using our link supports the channel, but more importantly, it gets you some money off and a free trial. The first thing I'm going to do is to create a new layer, and I'm going to redraw over this screen because it's very formal. So I'm going to just quickly sketch over it using the pen tool. I'm going to be using a vector brush, which is the third one down, and I'm going to match the color with the eyedropper, and I'm going to be drawing all of it on its own separate layer just so that I can use this background layer as kind of like a reference for myself. So I've got my new layer selected and it's just going to be a slightly rougher version, so it shouldn't be too tricky for me to do. Just going to redraw over this. I might actually put the opacity of this layer at the bottom down a little bit to see what I have done and what's the fresh bit of drawing. And I'm effectively just tracing over this artwork and making it a little bit rougher, which is quite an easy job to do. For this section, I'm going to use the paint bucket tool to fill in the majority of this area where the mesh would be. And then I'm going to try and make it look like it's full of ink. So I'm just going to do some little highlights in white with the pen tool again. The next thing I want to pop in is the eyeballs, and I'm actually going to do some drips around the text as well. And all these little drips and blobs of ink are really going to pull the image together. I'm going to pull the opacity of this background layer up again, and because the majority of the line work in there is really good. And I'm just going to add a little bit more detail into the eyes. I'm still going to do it on a different layer though, but just so I can see where the lines are joining up, this is going to be a good starting point. That already looks quite a lot better. Now, the really easy thing about this is going to be just pulling some drips down from the Blind Maggot text onto the actual maggot and character underneath. So this is just going to be very freestyle, just throwing them in anywhere I feel like they should be. Drawing droplets is so much easier than having to plot them out with a mouse. So sometimes just getting on the iPad quickly is much easier. And then I might do some glints in the text as well to make it look like it's made of a liquid. I'm going to rattle through the next bits. They're all very basic. I'm essentially going to be putting in some little glint lines in the text so they look a bit like liquid or a bit reflective. I'm going to add in a little kind of can and some other bits so that I can pull the image together so that I can communicate on the poster like a location and a date. And I think I'm going to switch these guys over because this one looks like it's looking out of the canvas and this one's not really part of it enough either. So I'm going to start working on all of these elements and really tie the image together. So this is our final design, and now we can use all the different elements in this for any marketing and branding that we need. So for example, we can take the top bit and we can use that as the header on the website, for example, or we can use little elements of it and use it in our social media posts, on posters, on flyers, on tickets, and even drinks vouchers. So this is going to be the basis for all of the marketing for the event itself. We've chosen to hold this event at Delphic, and you might have noticed that we've worked with them quite a few times over the years, especially with Blind Maggot doing like specialty beers and things, because they're basically our friends and they started on the market like us. And yeah, it's just a really great location for us to do this event because first of all, there's room. Second of all, people can have a beer while they're printing and it's just relaxed in between everyone coming up and doing their little print session. And then again, it's also incredibly close to the shop. We are going to be moving the print club around town. So we'll probably do like a pizza place or just wherever else feels good. So there's a pub just across next to the shop as well who wants to host it. I promise we're not always doing alcohol related things. It just happens to work out that way. We released the tickets just 4 hours ago and we've already sold out of our afternoon session. We have 3 more slots available for the morning session and it's 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. So I think what's going to happen is in the next hour, we'll probably sell out of both because people will get home and they'll start to see the emails and Instagram and stuff when they get back from work. So I'm very confident that's going to sell out this evening for sure. We sold the tickets on our Blind Maggot website through Shopify, and this was because it's a Blind Maggot event. All our Blind Maggot customers are already signed in and have accounts to the Blind Maggot website, and also Shopify just makes it quite easy. So what I've done here, so that I know what t-shirt sizes people want for which session, I've kind of made these variables in the workshops. So I've made one variable as morning workshop, one as afternoon, and then people can go ahead and pick their t-shirt size as well. So it just means that I can track all of these orders, which actually get quite complicated, through Shopify, and it just makes it much, much easier. If you want to use Shopify for your event or your live printing business, then I've left the link in the description, which gives you a little bit of money off for your Shopify website. It also gives you a free trial of 7 days. So all that's left to do now is to get ready for the event. We've now sold the tickets and we're going to organise the event. The equipment that we're going to bring are a single arm press, pre-exposed screens, squeegees, ink, spatulas, water, rags, heat press, hairdryer, clothes rail, blank t-shirts, inside neck labels, hangers, and finally our flight cases so we can attach our printing press to one and the heat press on the other. As this event is happening at a brewery, we also want to give people drinks vouchers to go along with the workshop. So we need to go ahead and design the vouchers, any stickers that we need for organising people. Then we need to do the signage and all those types of things that really bring the event together. the signs are sorted for the workshop. This is going to show people where to gather, and it's going to kind of frame where we are nicely. Then we made this. So it's like the 3 rules of Print Club. The first rule is it's ink, not paint. The second rule is don't drop the squeegee. And the third one is don't burn yourself. And that's referring to people not burning themselves on the heat press. So that's like a thing that we'll have and we'll introduce everyone to at the beginning. Then I've got my stickers and vouchers. So I've got, these ones are just for fun. They're just little maggots from the workshop design. Everyone gets a drinks voucher because we're in a brewery. We've kind of got these, and then they can go to the bar and redeem a voucher every time. And then I've also organised their order numbers onto little stickers and done colour-coded ones. I'm very organised to make it so that I can tell if they're in the morning workshop or in the evening workshop. Now the only thing we have to do is expose the screens, and then we're ready to host our event. We are all set up and ready to go to welcome our guests. We've got about 20 minutes. It's quite good for us actually being that prepared. We've got all our signage ready. We have an A-board outside so people know to come in and gather. I've made these little stickers for people to wear in each session so that I know what their order number is and their t-shirt size and that type of thing. And more importantly, I've got their drinks vouchers. So as part of the ticket price, they can get a drink from the bar, like any beer or whatever. And then I just have some fun stickers as well. I might be giving a few of those out to the other people in the brewery at the end as well. So to walk you through what we've got everyone's t-shirts with their order number in the size they ordered, sorted out into the 2 groups that are coming. I've got my 3 rules of Print Club, of course. Then I've got my heat press. So we're going to be air drying the shirts just with the hairdryer, and then we're going to be heat pressing them to cure the water-based ink on the press, which is on its little flight case. And then this table is going to be for laying out the t-shirts and hair drying them. And then we've got the single arm press. This is the Riley Hopkins, I think it's the 150. It's just really, really decent. We literally just chuck it in the flight case, and you can get loads of other stuff in the flight case as well. They're just single colour designs, so I've got 2 screens, one for the front, one for the back. I've got backup screens, of course, just in case. Never had to use them, but just in case. I've got spare squeegees. This is all raring to go. So I'm just gonna chill out for a minute, make sure that I've got everything I need, and I'm ready to get going. We're gonna be printing some Blind Maggot shirts that you can't get anywhere else. Is this fat little maggot. You might recognise me from such videos as how to expose a screen for screen printing, or how to print a 6-colour t-shirt for screen printing. You'll probably stop breathing as you're printing. You're like, every good workshop has rules, so you're not allowed to call it paint today. I swear to God I didn't touch it. And there's my... thank you. Alright, there's my print. We're halfway through the workshop, so my second guys are literally just coming in now, getting their vouchers and things at the bar. We've reset the screens, got the rest of the shirts ready to go. The first workshop went great, so we'll see how the second one gets on. just finished the second workshop and I've got my shirt, which I did as a sneaky example one. We even did some for the guys behind the bar so they can get involved. I have a whole rail of empty hangers. All of these shirts are out in the wild now as part of the Blind Maggot Print Club. We had a great time, and I'm already thinking about different venues and how I can tweak the design to do this again and again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you might think about bringing your printing out into the public as live printing, because it is very engaging and fun, and you get to talk to the public a lot and maybe even promote your services. So I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to hit the bell because we have another video coming out very, very soon. Thank you.